Day.
Yeah, it is Free Comic Day.
Free Comic Day very soon.
Free Comic Day very soon.
Yeah.
Free Soon Day, very comic.
So go out and support your free comic book day at your local comic
Tastes
shop.
very legitimate.
All right. Welcome back, traders.
Hi.
We're back. Everything's late and nobody dies. Did I say that right?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, God, I hope so.
Yeah,
everywhere's dead and nobody's late.
Everything's late. Nobody dies. Episode 44.
Lucky
44.
44.
I want to do something because I don't know if this will even work or not. I'm going to see if... Oh, nice. Porn.
Oh, yeah, that's on there. God, Eric. No. Swipe left.
I think that may be wrong.
What happened?
Well, I was looking at Instagram. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Instagram is wrong? I can't trust social media?
Yeah, Instagram is always wrong.
Oh, God. You've destroyed my life. I can't trust social media. It's social and it's media. It's right there in the title.
Hey, you should have known.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm a little bit exhausted, but
I'm a little bit not. I got so much sleep last night. Like, so much that it might be dangerous. Like, I got a good 10 hours in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm either sleep deprived or I'm getting older than I thought.
Yeah, I'm working through the CGC headache that is a price increase, which means everybody has to get their books in before the 10th or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been working like 16 hour days trying to get everything done.
Yeah. It's
insane.
God. Yeah. I've been trying to do the same thing. I've been trying to get all mine in.
Yeah.
And I've got a bunch for customers and I've got to have you press a few to get them out of here.
So if you send books in and they don't get pressed, it's Greg's fault for pushing this to the front of the line.
That's absolutely true.
No, I'm pretty sure I'll get through all of them in time. But from what I'm hearing, and this came from our lawyer friend that contacted CGC directly.
Mm-hmm.
If you have your invoice, your packing slip dated on or before Monday.
So when you're watching this now and or Monday when you're watching this,
the first.
I'm going to say. Oh, actually, no. If it were live now, it's going on Monday. So if you're watching this now, hurry.
Yeah.
No matter when now is.
If it's dated on or before Monday and the books are received by CGC by the 10th, they will still honor the lower price. But anything after
I don't know
that,
why they keep raising their prices.
I don't know how many times in the last 2 weeks I have said I don't understand why we give them so much power over our hobby.
Yeah.
Like I said it to you, I've said it to Brian, I've said it to Matt and Dave and everybody else. And everybody's like, I don't either. Here's some books that need press for CGC.
I hate them too. So, you send them to the P.O. box or the yeah. I've sent mine in. I typically send mine in UPS because they get there quicker.
Right.
If you go mail, you've either got to go media, which is not awesome. But the mail, U.S. mail is fantastic. Hey, Beck, would you grab our kind mail carrier that envelope that's stamped sitting out of there because we love the U.S. mail? No, just the one that's stamped that's sitting up. No, it's in the price things. There we go. All right, cool. No, don't send those back. Thanks, man. All right. Oh, fair.
Nice.
Online submissions, computer run nail, June 1st.
Oh, by June 1st. We were told.
Oh, okay. Huh.
We were told May 10th. I don't know.
Huh. I wonder, if
Joe is all over CGC submissions.
Wonder if they've changed that because cut and paste from website.
Oh, right on.
I wonder if they maybe changed that because people were so pissed. Or they don't.
Well, they're not giving any more time. That would be less time. So I would go by this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But he said that's right from CGC's website. So,
Huh.
yeah, online submissions.
Well,
And
then.
I mean, he would know. He probably submits more books than anybody I work with. Like
Yeah.
he submits a lot of books. A lot of books.
Thanks to our special guest, Joe. Thank you for showing up in the studio, sort of.
Well, if we could ever, get him to come to Utah,
Yeah.
or even better yet, let's go to Japan.
Let's do that. I want to do that.
He gets the coolest books, and it's
Yeah, you already told me about the one, and I don't want to talk about it.
yeah, it's got great stuff.
It's upsetting.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I even had to miss New Comic Book Day yesterday because I just could not get away.
Yeah.
I really couldn't even make it today, but I had to.
You had to see me.
Like we got to do it at least once a week.
You missed me.
Yeah. And now the two, the show
yeah,
I
no.
prefer.
Which one is upsetting?
Your Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Oh yeah, that one. I needed that so bad. I need that so bad. Oh, man, and I know it's like it's like a 12-cent cover price. I said I was willing to triple it, but whatever. I know.
Wouldn't even take $1 for a 12-cent book. What can you do?
Let's do. I'll pay 100 times with that.
That's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Actually, yeah. I picked up. It's really weird. Things were dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything crashed. Just came to a complete standstill for a few months, and then in the last month, the floodgates have opened up. But it's all these new collectors and people that aren't speculating or investing. Had a younger collector come in, moved here from California and found me on Google or whatever and contacted me. And he brought over some books and he's really young. He's like Beck young, like 12. Anybody under the age of 30 is 12, in my eyes.
Anybody under the age of 20 cannot walk yet. Yeah.
So he brought over some great books, and when I first saw him, I'm like, okay, this kid's a flipper. That's what he does. But no, he sat there in my dining room and we talked for about an hour and a half, and like he knows books. Like he loves comic books. Man. And then he brought over his next batch today, and it was, some of the usual suspects. It had that ASM, the first Madam Web.
Okay.
That everybody's after. What is that, 252?
No, it's earlier than that. 252 is the black costume.
Oh, well, that was in there too. So.
Well, there you go. So you were right no matter what.
It was like he
have to be right no matter what.
He brings over those type of books, and I'm like, typically when somebody brings them, they're like, oh, I want to get them slabs so I can sell them and flip them and make some money and invest money. That's all they talk about. But he's like, no, I think that's a great book. 210.
Oh, cool.
210. But he's like, no, that's a great book. And this is why it's a great book. It's because, like, this is what kicks off the multiverse and all the and, like, he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm sorry. Speaking of knowing what you're talking about, I feel like we're in a presidential debate and we are being real-time fact-checked. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's the great thing about having this kind of an audience. I mean, I don't have to know anything.
We don't know anything,
I
man.
just spit something out.
It's got there like, when Spider-Man first appeared in X-Men 4, and it was really great, man. It was pretty cool. Amazing Fantasy. I'm sorry about that. Amazing Fantasy 4. 15. Okay. No, I appreciate the fact check. That's good. That's nice, man.
Joe's Spider-Man collection is pretty impressive. He's got some knowledge there.
I need him to follow me around in just normal everyday life. I'm like, what time is it? It's about 2:30. What? 2:27. Sorry. That would help.
One of the benefits to what I do and what you do is we get to see like just these amazing.
What's wrong with Macaulay Culkin? Oh, sorry, I have my glasses on.
Yeah. So Bueller chimes in. Howard Chaykin is our biggest fan. But we get to see, and what Bueller does, he gets to see it as well. We get to see just some awesome collections.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's always cool.
Awesome collections. And let's talk a little bit about Joe's collection. And I've done some incredible books for him. But I've got this this gentleman that sends me books from I'm going to say North Carolina. It could be South Carolina. Anyway,
From Carolina.
He owns a Chevy dealership, and his goal, and this is another one, he doesn't do it for the investment.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to have his books slabbed because that's how he's going to display them. But his goal is a full run of Amazing Spider-Man, all slabbed. And he doesn't care what the grade is once it gets slabbed, just as long as, you know, he sends it to me to get it as high as possible. And he's doing all the major keys.
He's going to need another car dealership.
Yeah. It's insane.
Oh my God, man.
And so far, I mean, we've done everything up to Amazing Spider-Man. We're in the 150s, somewhere around there. At this point.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's doing like the entire run. It's crazy. Just bought 7 more Silver Age ASMs and a Golden Age from Heritage, but won't get them to me before the cutoff, which is unfortunate. I guess the Silver Age are going up a little bit more than the rest of the books.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Golden Age stuff took a serious rise a while back,
right?
You know, because they were just so hard to get your hands on. I think Silver Age is probably, you know, I think Silver Age is more, honestly, more key. You know, and I mean, Golden Age, yeah, you know, you're gonna have Batman, Superman, Captain America, that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
You know, but then when you start thinking about the things that are on the screens and the things that are still popular now, that's all Silver Age stuff,
right?
You know, it's, you know, FF and Spider-Man and Flash and, you know, that Flash, you know what I mean? Yeah, and these Green Lanterns and stuff like that. That's what they're doing, everything, and that's what everybody's looking for. And I think the next ones that are going to go through the roof. I don't know about through the roof, but the ones that are really going to start getting some value are the 90s.
Really?
Yep.
That's hard to even conceptualize because of print run.
Well, but here's the thing that I see all the time.
And we were much more intelligent collectors at that time too, so a lot more of that stuff was
at that time, yes. However, what I see constantly, you know, when I first opened up, you know, early 2000s, right, I would have people bringing that stuff in, and there was nothing in the 90s that was worth more than, you know, $10-15. You know what I mean? I mean, you get a first appearance. When I opened the store, first appearance of Deadpool was $20. Right. You know, first Gambit was like $15. You know, the X-Men #1 was, you know, it was a $4 book. Like, nobody cared. Right. And I think I told you this before, but I did like a decoupage thing on my piano.
On your piano
downstairs.
Yeah. I cut up
an X-Men 1. I cut up, you know, this and that and, you know, all that stuff, you know. And that's the thing is, like, people would bring them in and I'd be like, oh yeah, $20 for that box. It's not worth anything, you know? And they'd be like, oh, well, fine. I don't want $20. It's supposed to be worth a lot of money, you know? And they take them home and throw them somewhere and, you know, throw them in the basement or throw them in a shed and they get water damage or they get oxidation or they get bent or they get torn. You know, most of the 90s stuff I see that comes in right now is not in great shape. And it's because people didn't take care of them. They took care of them as an investment. Then when they didn't get their money back, I mean, I've had people literally come in here with a stack of 90s books, you know, years ago. And, you know, I'd be like, okay, well, you know, I can only give you $5 for that. They'd be like, oh, that's an insult. And they'd literally throw them away outside.
Yeah.
And instead of taking the $5, I'm like, well, it's $5, you idiots. You know?
And we've seen some of that play out with like Walking Dead #1.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that snagged a hold of that and took a big dip and they're like, well, that's not, I paid more than that for it. And then they get upset. Now all of a sudden, that's a crazy book.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I don't know. I think that's the next thing that's going to happen because, you know, literally people just did not take care of them. They almost put them in a vault, and then, when they realize that they are not going to buy a house, they're not going to buy a brand new car for everybody in the family, and they're not going to put their kids through college with these damn things. It's like, well, I have 10 copies of Wildcats 2 with the silver prism foil. It's like, that is cool, man. If you want 11, there's one in the quarter box, and they just get mad and they don't take care of them anymore. I've seen that a lot.
It's just so hard for me to get my head wrapped around the concept that those are going to be the books. But I mean,
I think they will.
Greg Stradamus has
struck again
right before.
Yeah. So. Also, those damn foil covers, and we're seeing this a lot with the Spider-Man, the Venoms, the Spider-Man 2099s, the Venom Lethal Protectors, the Web of Spider-Man 100s, that stuff. If you even breathe weird around those things, they bend. Yeah. And you really can't get many of those bends out because they're serious bends. Even someone like you that is like an expert at pressing and cleaning.
Yeah. Once there's a break in that foil,
it's done. It's done, man. So, I mean, that's why, I get these Venom Lethal Protector #1s in all the damn time. Very rarely are they in a 9.2 and above. Very rarely. They're usually fine to very fines.
Yeah, that one I see more in better shape than some others. The one that really stands out in my mind is the one that just gets beat up a lot, and now everybody wants is Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah. Well, hell, I used to sell those for a quarter. All the Spider-Man all the 2099 stuff used to be in my quarter boxes. And then I didn't have one. And then people were like, whoa, what's going on, man? And
Yeah. Put a box.
Oh, geez.
And of trading cards.
Right, there you go.
20 plus years ago, find out this week. It's about 2,000. Wow. That depends on what trading cards they are, but. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I put things in the cover for 20 years. It just makes me sick. After when I finally pull them out, No, I do think though that those, some of those 90s books, and especially the late 90s books, because the print ones were so low.
Right. Well, that's where all that that second century Spawn stuff is, with the super low print runs that people are paying hundreds of dollars for.
Yeah. And that, I mean, that situation is just like 10 times the early 90s stuff, because then people were buying them to read. They were not buying them to collect at all, and they weren't taking care of them.
Oh, for sure.
And so, I mean, if you've got something that's going to have a 30,000 print run or a 50,000 print run, and half of them are garbage.
Well, in the late 90s, your indies had to be more reactionary to the market. So when that readership went down and when the investors ran away from comics and got into Beanie Babies, whatever the hell they were doing, then the indies, Spawn, Ninja Turtles was real low during that time period.
Oh, yeah.
There's some Usagi stuff that's worth a bit during that time period.
Yeah.
All of that stuff that didn't get sold off to DC with Jim Lee running over there.
Right.
Is, I mean, they had so much lower print runs that they don't have anywhere to go but up.
Yeah, that's very true. And you're already seeing that with like that in the very early 2000s, like X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man, Captain America, stuff like that. You're seeing a lot of those go up already. Sometimes when I price out those, like the last 10 or 15 issues of the first run of Amazing Spider-Man, God, those things are getting expensive. Like really expensive.
Right.
Same with the Hulk, all those volume ones at the end of the volumes are getting pretty spendy because they fell into that trap and that, I want to say fad because it went away for a while and now it's back again. That if your sales go down, and your print run goes way down, you're not making as much money. You have to hurry up and relaunch that thing with a new number one. Hurry, go, go, go. And that's what they were doing then, but the print runs were so much. But it seems like they were like about comparable to what they are now, or if not lower. I think some of them were a lot lower. And they had to do something to spark interest again. And if you're reading Amazing Spider-Man and you say, "Oh, there's Amazing Spider-Man #1," and people are like, "Well, I got to get on the ground floor of that." It's a good place to start. It's a new story. It's a new this. It's a new that. Now it's not special anymore because it happens every 6 or 7 months. It seems like, I mean, what are we on volume 3 of Alien, and they've only had the property for a year and a half or 2 years? It's like, come on.
Well, in that case, I think what they're doing is they're trying to capitalize on that indie comic book feel, where a good indie run is eight books, 6 to 8, something like that. I mean, you've got Saga and Department of Truth and all these others that have been.
I think those runs are starting to get higher now. The numbers are starting to get higher. I'm seeing a lot more, especially with Image, a lot more ongoing series. But they don't really announce them as ongoing. They just say, "Hey, #1," and then if it doesn't sell, they're like, "Final issue #6." Yeah. But they're kind of. They're kind of non-committal about a lot of it.
Right.
They just throw them out there and say, "Okay, this is what we got."
Well, I think when you get deep into the indie publishers and you start looking at, like a Black Mask or Source Point is probably not a great example, but
it's an example of something.
But you start getting deep into these real indie publishers. They really can't commit to more than 6 to 8 issues.
Behemoth, for example.
Behemoth is great. I mean, they've got great stories. They have fun stuff.
Yeah.
Last 4 to 6 issues.
Yeah. And what I like about Behemoth is when they do, like Popstar Assassin, really cool, fun book, right? Was it 6 issues, I think? And then they're like, "Okay, we're good." And then they come out and it says Popstar Assassin Volume 2.
Right.
You can tell what it is. They actually put the volume on the front, or part 2 or, whatever.
Or a sub name of some kind.
Yeah. And I like that because it distinguishes it, because I can't tell you how many people come in and see Alien #1 up there and go, "Oh, I bought that 8 months ago." And I'm like, well, not really. You kind of did, but not really. No. And I feel like Marvel should do Alien and Predator like they did Dark Tower, but just with not so many subtitles, because they got to the point where they had like 3 subtitles on Dark Tower, and that was a little bit ridiculous. But let's say The Stand. Now you have American Nightmares, you have this, you have that, whatever. And they did a really good job with that because you can distinguish what those stories are. And especially with Alien, I feel like you need to do that. And because you're not going to have a regular cast member, if you will, character going through 60 issues of Alien. Because it's not about them. Unless it's Ripley, it's not about those characters. Right. It's about the monsters and the aliens and it's right there. It's not called Ripley Comics. It's called Alien. And you're going to have those in different spots in the universe, or some on Earth and some in space and, whatever. Right. So I really feel like they should be subtitling those. Like the first series, Starship to Nowhere, or I don't know, something stupid like that.
Well, in my opinion, I don't think that Marvel should be doing any Alien, Predator, or Planet of the Apes. Give those back to Dark Horse, license them out. Dark Horse did a great job with that stuff. And that's how they did their like those original Alien miniseries, Burning Earth and Cold Wars. Yeah.
And then Predators, Cold War, but
After Alien,
okay, and now I'm
Alien
fact checking you. I'm being a dick.
I mean, I got them all, read them all, loved them all. And I think that's the way you do. that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed the Alien stuff though that I've read from Marvel. I've
It's been
enjoyed
all
it.
right.
I think it's good. And there was a lot of stuff. I think Dark Horse got to a point where they didn't know what to do with it, and they just started like. Did you ever read Mondo Heat?
No.
It was not great, and it was fun and stupid. But it was not great like those Mondo ones because they had like this character Mondo Heat that was in the different. It was pretty dumb. It was still fun, but it wasn't what I wanted from Alien.
Right.
So I think Dark Horse started dropping the ball on it after a little while. But they came back with the other ones that they did. When Prometheus came out, or Prometheus came out. Prometheus. So
Yeah.
Prometheus Alan Moore, that was different. But they got a little confusing again then because it was like life and death and this and that. And they had like 3 different series happening at the same time, and I didn't know what anything was. And they had a Predator series that was named the same thing, and it was a little weird. So I don't think Dark Horse is the place for it. I really do think Marvel is the place for it.
I just don't think that Marvel, no matter how hard Marvel tries, they're always going to be under the mouse's thumb, and there's going to
True.
be certain things, a certain edginess that's just not going to be there in any Marvel property. That's why when they talk about taking all of the Defender stuff from Netflix and relaunching it on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's great. I want to see those characters as they were on Netflix coming back. I want to see the Punisher. I want to see Daredevil. But no matter what, it's just not going to have that same hard edge on it.
I think some of them are going to be lighter, but I think that they'll maintain with a lot.
I don't think they can.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have put all that stuff on Disney Plus. I mean, they got the Punisher and Deadpool on Disney Plus. They're not afraid of content.
I don't think it's a fear of content, but I just don't think they're capable of creating that. Like they can do okay with the Star Wars because there's always that part of Star Wars that is softer and funner and more
sandier,
wide-eyed adventure.
Lots of sand.
Definitely a lot more sand in Star Wars.
Sand.
But I don't think they can do hard edge stuff like that. I mean, that's why we don't have a Blade. I mean, they even took Werewolf by Night and made it family friendly.
I would disagree. I don't think Werewolf by Night was family friendly.
Oh, it's definitely family friendly.
They were just chopping people up left and right on there.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't a hardcore gore fest, man. But that was not family friendly. I disagree.
I don't know. I would think that anybody else could do Werewolf by Night and be that edgy. So
I don't know.
Fox would
agree to disagree. Whatever.
Crazy Kurt Comics. How we doing?
And a yo to you.
Howdy. Guys, sorry I'm so late. John, you'll make up for it later, buddy.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got some surprises coming up.
Speaking of hard edge, so
I feel like I'm in a remake of The Ring every time I look at that and get closer. Just a remake of The Ring. Yeah.
But somebody was telling me that they're looking at doing like a Ghost Rider for the Halloween special this year.
That'd be cool.
I think that would be cool. They would definitely. They've already said that if they're going to move forward with a Ghost Rider story, it's going to be Robbie Reyes. So, I mean, I would like to see Johnny on there, but
I would like to see it be Danny Ketch.
He's my second favorite Ghost Rider.
Oh, after the Cowboy?
Yeah. I like Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. Yeah. Johnny Storm, the Ghost Riding man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your favorite after Punisher. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. No, I mean, I think that'd be really cool. I think they could do a good job. I don't know if I ever really connected with any Ghost Rider stuff, because when I read Ghost Rider occasionally, and it was mostly like in Marvel Comics Presents and stuff like that, it was it was uninteresting to me because you would think me with my horror and metal fascination and
It's a
obsession,
little surprising.
and but it was kind of cheesy to me, because all he would do is just ride around on a motorcycle and say, "Innocent blood has been spilled, vengeance will be served." I'm like, yeah, okay. Look, Chris Claremont, you don't have to do your catchphrase every 3 pages. Okay, come on, man. And it got a little for me. I did like the X-Men crossover they did. That was kind of cool. Just because it was something completely different for X-Men. But it was all new and all different, you could say.
Well, I really liked the Midnight Sun stuff.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily, but I like Darkhold more than I like the Ghost Rider stuff.
I like the Darkhold stories in Marvel Comics Presents. I thought those were really cool, because then they brought in Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange and I don't know, Vengeance, whatever. But but they brought in all those other characters and started like going nuts with stuff, and that was cool. I like that. But I think that belonged in an anthology series.
It kind of has that serialized anthology feel about it for sure.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really liked about that. And I liked the Midnight Sun stuff. I liked that dynamic.
Yeah.
Of the Midnight or the Spirits of Vengeance.
Yeah. And I really liked what I like how Sam Raimi handled that in the Mysterious Mountains of Magic or whatever that's called. the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness.
No, I couldn't think of it. The Mysterious Mountains of Magic. Now that sounds like a Disney ride.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
Maybe.
You know what? Speaking of Sam Raimi, I was watching. This is weird, but I was watching a thing on like a horror convention panel with everybody from Child's Play today. And Tom Holland, the director of Child's Play, and apparently, I guess Stan Lee really wanted a horror director to make Spider-Man. Because in Stan Lee's mind, I feel like it was always a horror title because they toned it down and made it a little more, But I didn't know this, but somebody asked the question of like, oh well, so would you ever be willing to do a superhero movie? And Tom Holland, the director of Child's Play, is like, no, I don't think so. I think time passed me up. He said Stan Lee actually asked me to do the first Spider-Man movie. He said, but I foolishly said no, and then they went to Sam Raimi. But wouldn't that be funny if he kept doing those and Tom Holland directed Tom Holland in Spider-Man? Because it's Tom Holland that did Fright Night and Child's Play.
Right.
And this is before Tom Holland was even cast as Spider-Man that they asked this question. Right. And I just thought that was interesting. That would be kind of funny. It's like Tom Holland in a Tom Holland film written by Tom Holland starring Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of funny. But I like that they kind of bring horror people into the directors and writers chairs at Marvel. I like that. And I feel like even my wife didn't love that Doctor Strange movie. She was like, it was too gory, it was too horror, it was too weird, and I love that.
Yeah. That's my favorite MCU movie.
And I thought it was fantastic. And so, I think they do have the marbles to I know you can't swear on YouTube. I've never heard anybody say anything, but
you can swear on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
People swear on YouTube all the time.
Well, I'm glad that they have the testes. I think they do have the balls to do something like that, though. And because of that, I feel like this stuff's been getting darker and darker. Because I don't know what their deal is, but they need to change things up a little bit. I mean,
I think that we've even discussed this. I don't feel that Multiverse of Madness was a horror movie, and a lot of people consider it a horror movie.
I
To
do,
me,
definitely.
it was just another superhero movie, and I don't see the horror in it. At all.
Well, I don't consider it a straight horror movie. I consider it a horror superhero movie.
Yeah, I don't get horror from it at all.
You know?
I don't think anything that Disney has put out has been that far on the edge. I mean,
The new Hellraiser?
I didn't know that was a Disney thing.
That's
I haven't
Disney.
even seen it.
Yeah, the new Predator movie, Prey. That's Disney.
Yeah, it's not really. That doesn't have the edge. It's.
Oh God, yeah, it does.
No.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a fantastic movie. I loved it, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I mean, I was never once scared through any of it or any of these.
Well, and see, that's where we disagree again. I don't think you have to be scared to have it be a horror movie.
No, and well, that's kind of implied by the title, isn't it? Horror means you have to be. There has to be something scary there.
Not really, because I mean, scary is individualized.
True.
So I mean, I know a lot of people that like people see my Gremlins tattoos and they're like, oh my God, I can't even watch that movie. It's so terrifying.
There's nothing scary about Gremlins.
Man,
I don't
and
get that
it's
either.
like, well, I don't know. I think there's a couple of moments that are a little, wow. I definitely consider Gremlins a horror movie. It's a horror comedy, but it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's the thing is it's individualized because there are people who to this day will not watch Gremlins. I mean, it's, who knows what horror is to anybody. It's all individualized different things. It's like, it's stuff like the ghost stuff scares the crap out of me. And like possession stuff scares the crap out of me if it's done well,
Right.
Yeah, and it's like people sometimes don't even say, scary or revolting, fear or disgust. Thank you very much.
This is what John feels every time he turns into this show.
I was gonna say, is that is that a comment on me or you would say? Because I'll take it. I mean,
Lost
sure.
Boys is a horror movie and it's not scary. I don't
Absolutely.
know. Lost Boys scared me a little bit.
There were a couple. See,
There's
it
some
scared you,
spots in it.
but
There's
scared
some
you.
spots in
And see,
it
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I would definitely say it's a
okay,
horror
but
movie.
come on, if there's a name for people that get scared at Gremlins as adults. That name's Pussy. That's just there's nothing scary about Gremlins.
When they're changing, man, that's kind of scary. It's kind of creepy.
No.
And I have a blast with it. I love it. It's super fun. But, and I'm talking about adults that won't watch it because they watched it when they were younger.
Right.
And there's remaining trauma or whatever,
That's funny because Mark Hamill, I was watching an interview with Mark Hamill and he was talking about the cantina scene from Star Wars.
Mhm.
And he's like, there's people come up to me and tell me they have to close their eyes when that cantina scene comes on because it's so terrifying.
I was 7 years old when that came out, man. And some of that scene scared me. They have a friggin' werewolf that looks right at the camera. There's a werewolf that looks at the camera. When you're 7 years
he's not
old,
even a good actor. He's staring right at the camera.
I know, man. When you're 7 years old, that's scary.
Jaws didn't scare me either.
Oh, that scared me.
There was nothing scary about a big rubber shark flopping up on a boat.
Well, okay. One of the things that actually, and you're gonna laugh at this, man, but one of the things when I was a kid that really scared me, and I realized that I enjoyed being scared, is I watched Kiss perform on I think it was Fridays. Remember that show, Fridays?
Oh yeah.
And it was, I think it was something from The Elder, that they played, which was actually kind of a good song until Paul Stanley started going. Oh my God, that's stupid, man. But I remember, I remember very clearly that I was downstairs watching on a little TV in my room, and they didn't keep me downstairs. I had 2 rooms. I was an only child. I was pretty spoiled. But then I was downstairs and I was watching that in my room. And Gene Simmons turned around and looked at the camera and stuck his tongue out and went. And I was like, oh God, he's looking at me. And it scared the hell out of me.
Well, Gene Simmons in the late 70s, there was nothing scarier than Gene Simmons to a kid.
Like, to an adult, I think he's scarier now.
That is true.
Have you seen that, like, that felt hair he has now?
Wrote my university thesis on horror comedy.
My man, Joe. We are friends.
Every song needs that. Spot on, Greg.
See, I'm sorry, man. I'm getting more spot ons than you are. No, that scared me. And the trailer for Eyes of Laura Mars. I think I had a thing with people looking at me in like they're looking at me when I was a kid.
Laura Mars that one did me.
Yeah, and it was the trailer. John Carpenter wrote that.
Yeah.
And it was the damn trailer, and it's like she's looking, and that camera goes boom, 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 and she's looking at you.
The scariest trailer of all time.
And the werewolf looked at me, and Gene Simmons looked at me. God, I don't like people looking at me. That's why I never watch this show that we do, because sometimes I do this. I hate it.
Scariest movie trailer of all time has got to be Streets of Fire. I don't know why that is so scary to me, but
Streets of Fire?
Still to this day, if I watch that trailer, because I'll sometimes go on, scroll through, and just watch old trailers because it's fun. Streets of Fire.
I'm putting that shit on.
That's a horrible movie. Like, it's a terrible movie.
I'm putting that shit on as soon as we're done, and I'm going to make you watch it, or else I'm not going to give you the stuff to press.
But I do think that I do think that Disney, all of it, Disney Studios, Marvel Studios, and Lucasfilm, with that Disney overlord looking down upon them, I don't think they can make anything that's got too hard of an edge to it.
Well, and that's the thing about the other movies that I mentioned, the new Hellraiser movie, the new Predator movie. Those are all under different banners.
Right, and I still don't think I haven't seen Hellraiser, but Predator didn't have that edge.
Hellraiser. I think the new Hellraiser definitely had that edge. It didn't have the, overtly uncomfortable sexual stuff that the first two Hellraisers had, because Clive Barker didn't write this one. Right. And there's always a weird, uncomfortable sexual aspect of what he writes.
Everything,
man. Yeah. Candyman, Rawhead Rex.
Oh yeah,
like God, yeah. Man, it's like there's a lot of weird stuff in there that it makes me very uncomfortable sometimes.
The one that really got me was In the Hills of the Cities from the Books of Blood.
Oh, is that the one with is that the one with the Wicker Man dude?
The giant Wicker Man fighting each other.
Oh my God, that was so good.
Everybody was naked and writhing and
so good.
Yeah, crazy.
Daredevil will be the tell. Absolutely, it will.
Oh yeah. I agree with that completely. I don't think, and that's why I'm afraid of Daredevil specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they can do Jessica Jones. Like, way too edgy.
Oh, I think they can definitely do Jessica Jones because they toned it down to begin with from Alias like crazy.
Oh yeah.
They made it Jessica Jones the comic, not Alias the comic.
Right.
Because there had been all the Jessica Jones stuff afterwards, and I think it matches up perfectly. The one that like Kelly Thompson wrote, stuff like that, it matches up perfectly to that. And I think they will continue that. I
don't think it'll have the edge.
I don't think that'll be any different.
I be able to do it.
I agree with Doug though. Daredevil definitely will be the one.
Well, more so than Punisher, you think? I mean, Punisher is the edge. If you're putting Punisher on the screen, he's got to kill people. He's got to be rough.
But you can kill people without having the gore and the mega blood and the torture and everything like that. They're still going to have Punisher kill people. But Daredevil's going to be first, though.
Well, I think you can have that edge that I'm talking about without the gore, without the blood. I think you can have that, but I just don't think that Disney can deliver.
No, we'll see. We will see.
John, I Can Dream About You is our song.
Oh, thanks. Is the song from Streets of Fire. I'm sorry. I was like, damn, John and I have a song. That is so romantic and awesome.
It did have a pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, man. Is that the one with Michael Paré?
He was in town for FanX last year.
Of course, I remember his comic that he wrote. Oh no, wait, that's right. It's not a comic
Yeah,
convention.
yeah.
Sorry. Everybody that was in a movie in the 80s was in town.
I was
for
just
Fan
talking about
X
him
Lester.
because we're going to Washington State Summer Con, and Barry Bostwick's going to be there. And everybody's like, we talk about getting.
He's the guy who took all
autographs.
steroids in baseball, right?
I think so.
I told you I was in a mood, man.
But my goal is to get as many people that were in the movie Megaforce to sign the back. Find one of these
What are the
comics
ads?
that have Megaforce on the back.
All right, that's pretty
'Cause
cool.
I love Megaforce. Like, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That is awesome.
Of course, you send that to CGC, they're going to slap it the wrong way. But
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Crazy Kurt, I've had an idea for a horror movie for years where Mr. Rogers type kids TV host was actually a sadistic murderer with bodies in the basement. But one of the kids who is a regular on the show starts to suspect his sinister activities.
Wait till that's in public domain. We can do a Blood and Honey.
Go all blood and honey on it.
Yeah. It'll just be called Fred. Won't you murder my neighbor? Call me,
go.
man. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make this happen.
Won't you kill my neighbor?
Yeah.
Has Blood and Honey come out yet? It hasn't come out yet.
It's on. You can rent it on Amazon. I'm not gonna rent that, but I'm gonna watch it for free because I know it's not gonna be good, but I also know I want to watch it.
No, I gotta watch it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was actually out yet, but
yeah, you can rent it on Amazon. I actually saw it today when I was looking at crappy old horror movies that I love that I just have had on the background today.
yeah,
And it was on there. I said you can rent or buy it. But yeah.
I have to definitely see that one.
Did you see the Banana Splits movie?
No,
That was awesome. That was so great. That was so good.
man.
Oh my god, it
I
was
love
great.
public
Man.
domain
It was
stuff.
so funny. Yeah, public domain is fun. I don't know when is Mr. Rogers public domain? We got a while.
Yeah, you got a long time.
Yeah, we got a long time.
Like, he's only been gone for less than a decade. So.
Well, yeah, but it's when you start it, isn't it? Didn't he start in like the 50s or something, or the 60s?
I don't think so. I think it's from your last published work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That
Well-
might not ever happen because there's that kid show that they do now, like the animated one.
There's an animated
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers?
It's Daniel Tiger, but my little sister used to watch it a lot.
There's an animated Mr. Rogers?
Huh? Is it based on like the neighborhood of make believe?
Yeah, so it's instead of Mr.
Huh.
Rogers being the host, one of the characters, Daniel Tiger, is the host.
Right.
He has all the same friends from the show,
Right.
But it's like a little kid hosting instead of an adult.
Oh, I've
Oh.
seen that.
And that's too bad. I thought it was like Mr. Rogers animated when it's like knock, 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 and he's like, "Oh, I got to go get the door. Mr. McFeely's here." Then he's like takes off. That'd be great, man. His little feet are going.
I'm sure that translated really well to the live. Since
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
microphone's here. Producer Beck's way over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Beck was saying something about there being an animated
Mr. Rogers. Neighborhood.
yes. Yeah, Nightmare on Fred Street. Oh my God, he's already named Fred too. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. I feel like somebody's done that. Put Freddy Krueger,
Freddy Rogers?
in the neighborhood of make believe.
Yeah.
Somebody had to have done that.
Somebody had
already.
to have, yeah.
It's got to be out there.
Oh my God, yes. Beck for the
Doug
win, says
Madsen,
Doug.
Beck,
All right.
Beck for the win. He's the one who keeps us in line.
Yeah. No, I think it's that'd be super cool though.
Yeah.
Would you be my neighbor, bitch?
Lady Elaine comes out. She freaked me out as a kid.
Oh, Lady Elaine.
Yeah. The puppet with a
Oh
nose.
God, that was a lot.
She was horrifying.
Oh yeah.
Horrifying.
What's her name though? The was her name Elaine, like the human person?
Was it? I thought that was Lady Elaine Fairchild.
Lady Elaine Fairchild. Yeah. Yeah, she's a person.
She was a person. What's the name of the old lady puppet with the big nose? Looked like a
Queen Elizabeth.
She was. Yeah.
Is that who you're thinking of?
The one that oppressed the rest. No.
Yeah, Lady Elaine.
But you know what I'm talking
I
about.
had
right?
had the hots for her.
Man, she was the old lady puppet.
Now you're okay. Now you're
Now
looking.
I'm going to Google the hell.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. She's weird. I don't
Um,
like her, and she's uncomfortable. She seems like she would. She seems like she would send you $5 in the mail, like a check for $5 for your birthday, and then come and collect 6.
Lady Elaine Fairchild. Yeah, that thing.
Ew. Well, who's the pretty lady?
There was a pretty, and that's the tiger.
I don't like any of those. I don't know what the hell it was.
No,
Yeah.
Lady Elaine Fairchild is.
No.
Oh.
I know who Lady Elaine Fairchild is.
Are we actually having a conversation about this live?
Yeah. some
Oh, man.
stuff.
Okay, no, you look up those puppets, and yes, Kurt, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That traumatized me as a kid. I couldn't watch Mr. Rogers because of.
You know, look at those puppets again, man. I feel like maybe the puppets are keeping Mr. Rogers hostage and making him kill. And like,
There
there's
you go.
another hole in the basement that needs to be filled.
There you go, Crazy Kurt Comics.
Yeah, there you go,
got
man.
We're on little
this.
input. All right, so
Free Comic Day
Free
is
Comic
next
Book Day.
week. Oh,
It
next
is next week.
Saturday.
what you got going on for Free Comic?
Oh
Book
my gosh, we've got one of these. First person that gets here gets this. No,
I don't.
We've got so many comics. We got thousands of freaking comics to
I wonder
give away
what the
this
big
time.
book is.
No.
There's always one book that everybody's clamoring.
Yeah, and I think one of them. I think there's going to be a few. I think one of them is going to be the Spider-Man Venom one because
Right.
everybody always wants that. And then there's the new DC Afterbirth or whatever they're calling it now.
Oh yeah.
The whatever, yeah. Now that's going to be big, I think, because not necessarily because people want it, but they're curious about it. The Dawn of DC, is that what it's?
Yeah.
yeah.
Dawn of DC.
And they did some foil variants for that. Of course, they did because DC. So we'll have some of those. Well, they actually have some really cool Funko Pops. The Demon, Etrigan the Demon.
Oh, okay.
Funko Pops that are exclusive to Free Comic Day. We got some of those. They won't be free, but they're like $14. God, what do we got going on? We've got like a bunch of local creators.
Right.
Bleak
Big
Haven
Cave's
guy's
gonna
going to be
be
here.
here.
Matt Page is going to be here.
Nice.
And McKay's going to be here. McKay
Oh,
Westworth.
cool.
Yep,
Cool.
he's going to be here. We got a bunch of stuff to give away. I got a signed poster from Kelly Thompson. I got a bunch of Super Mario stuff to give away. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool.
And then I'm going to hit the liquor store as soon as we give stuff away. And then I'm going to just lay down and be drunk with my dogs.
All right, Mr. Fluffy Bun Bun, local creators.
Yeah, Noble Comics. Those guys came in yesterday, brought a bunch of really cool stuff.
Are they going to be here?
They're not going to be here because I haven't talked to them for a bit. And they just randomly showed up yesterday and said, "Hey, we got more new books."
Nice.
So they dropped off probably half a dozen new titles that are available right now.
Let's see.
Let's see what we got there.
I'll be at Osaka Comic Con for Free Comic Book Day. Right on.
Wow, he's going all the way to Japan.
I would think he's going to be all the way in Japan.
Yeah. Wow.
I would hope that if it's Comic Con on Free Comic Book Day, they would at least have free comic
God, I
books
hope
there.
so. Yeah. Joe, if you don't get any,
Yeah, let me know. We'll hook you up.
let us know,
We
man.
got
Let us
you.
know if you
We
need
got
something.
you.
I'll have Eric mail them out to you because I'm not going to pay postage to Japan.
I got a box I have to send out to him anyway.
Beautiful, man.
I
If
really
you-
do.
yeah, just quickly email him or get in touch with Eric, and we'll take care of it.
DC stands for Discontinued Movie Franchises. Yes, it does.
Or DC stands for "Don't come to our movies."
Don't come.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Nerdtastic News Station, my friend. Station.
Station. I don't know what that means.
You don't know what that means? It's
No.
from Bill and Ted's, the Bill and Ted's movie.
That's why I don't know what that means.
They have station.
I don't know.
Station. It's just a universal greeting.
Oh, so
It's like
you up?
It's
Oh,
got
sorry.
aliens and
That's
stuff.
my universal greeting.
Like Tokyo Comic Con. I'll probably be the only person with comics there. So it's like our Fan X.
All right, there we go, man. Okay, yes, yeah, definitely let us know, Joe. I've got all the stacks of stuff here. We'll be happy to hook you
Yeah,
up
if you
with
need
whatever
them,
you
let me
need,
know,
man.
and we'll make
Yeah.
sure you get them.
Anybody that lives in Japan or farther, I will hold comics. If you're closer than Japan, you have to come in. That's just the way it goes. Hi, Nerdtastic, says John. Oh, these guys are just like having conversations
just
now.
have
Okay.
conversations.
Anyway, yeah, that's what's going on, man.
I
It's gonna be
actually
a blast.
have a client from Osaka that has told me he's a airline steward,
Mhm.
and he told me anytime you want, you can come over to Japan. You can stay at my place for free. So, what the heck? Let's go to Japan.
Can you get us there free on the airplane?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Say airplane steward. I just want him to go. Look what I can do, and then like fly the airplane.
in Utah, pop into Black Cat Comics for
Ah, come on in.
Comic Book Day. I know the other shops are doing stuff too, and we will post that in our Utah Facebook group to let everybody know what's going on at each of the shops individually.
There's
But
going to be
there's-
some good stuff. There's signings all over the valley. There's great stuff.
But don't go to one shop and quit. Is the thing that
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
local on Free Comic Book Day.
So, okay, the thing about that, all right, is we do allow people to get whatever they want.
Right.
If you're going to read
Right.
the book, please take it. If you want to pick up 30 titles on Free Comic Day, take them. Take every single one of them. Please just make it.
Right.
Or read it, I would make the same. Please make it. Pick up whatever you like. That's one difference, I think with us and most other comic
Right.
shops. There are some comic shops that do that. But, if you're here at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, we're probably going to be out of some stuff,
Right.
So yeah, please, if you come here, yeah, come on and get stuff. If you go, someplace else, go there and grab stuff. If they don't have what you need, come back here, bop around a little bit, have some fun. It's
And all the
it's about
shops,
comics.
all the shops have a different atmosphere.
Yeah, and
Like,
we all have different ways to do it.
You are very different than the Nerd Store, Dr. Volts, or Big John's up north. Very different than Heebie Jeebies. So,
That's one thing I've been told my whole life. I'm very different. I'm very different.
and they're all different from each other. So,
Yeah.
come in, spend $5 in every local comic shop, $5 or more, and
Yeah, because we do have to buy the books.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's one other thing that we were going to do on Free Comic Day. Store wide, everything in the store is 25% off.
Oh, nice,
Statues, figures, T-shirts,
nice.
supplies.
You sold the Venom, right?
Yeah,
That was cool.
I know.
That was cool.
So when you bring stuff up, we will ring them up at regular price. We will take 25% off the total. Like
Nice.
no exceptions, no anything. This is the first time we've ever done a no exception,
Right.
like including, bags and boards, like everything we got in here, posters, everything will be 25% off.
Very nice.
Because I want to, Free Comic Day has been kind of not great for the last couple of years because, the pandemic, the dates being moved around, things like that. I want to kind of celebrate the return of a real Free Comic Book Day. We always have somebody from the news here filming stuff.
Right.
It's always a lot of fun. It's always crazy. I'm always dead at the end of the day, so I'm proving our show title wrong. But you know what? It is really fun, and I think everybody around here that has a comic shop thinks the same thing. This is an advertising opportunity, of course it is, but it's also a thank you to people that have been coming in,
Right.
and it's also like a hey, how you doing? It's an icebreaker for people that have never been in.
Right.
So I think it's really important that you go and support those stores, and buy a couple of things, and because we're giving you. If we give you 40 books, we've paid $10 for those books, man. We pay at least a quarter a piece for these books. And the shipping is stupid.
I will even do this for every paid for pressing on Free Comic Book Day. I'll match that 25%.
Oh my.
So somebody comes in, and then I'll adjust my wholesale price
Wow.
to compensate for that.
Wow.
So-
That's the part I was waiting to hear.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a discount, but
you're gonna
Greg's
charge me
eat it.
more.
Greg's gonna eat it. So you come in, you pay for your pressing, cleaning at Black Hat Comics, and you'll get 25% off.
Nice.
We'll do that too.
Right on. We want to make this fun.
2018 Tokyo Comic Con had an exclusive, an 8.0 sold for $3.3K. There's only 4 on the census,
Oh,
2
no.
9.6s, and an unpressed 9.0 slab.
don't read that last one, but Hello Kitty's
What?
great.
All right, so another idea from Crazy Kurt.
No,
Comics.
Hello Kitty.
This is gonna
There's no way to wrap this up with that. Oh my god.
another idea for horror. A Japanese horror movie
It's
about
doing
a
it.
girl
Okay.
whose lady parts have a mind of its own and begin to talk to her and make her life hell. It's called Hello Kitty.
I told you not to read that.
I would watch that.
I would so watch that.
I would watch that.
I would see that in the theatre.
All right.
To use the English spelling.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in and watching.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Um,
For the right time.
great. So we managed to get one hot chick in the chat.
Yep,
and look
yep.
what you
And
did,
then look what
Crazy Kurt.
happened, man. Oh my god.
So I've just completely lost my train of thought.
We were gonna
Sweetheart,
sign
I'm
off.
coming home. So I think next week we're going to be back on track. So meet us here on Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, where we're going to give you a rundown of the wall, let you know all the new books that have come out. Greg will tell you his picks and what he's reading for the week. Tune in every Thursday. Everything's late, nobody dies, and we get your input. I like having the interaction with the chat. I
Yeah,
think
this
that's
is
a
fun.
lot of fun.
It's
I
fun.
like doing that.
Yeah.
So feel free to say whatever's on your mind. Everybody but Kurt, we'll talk.
Kurt, you can find me on Facebook. Just DM me all this shit because I'm loving it.
So next week, so free comic book day.
Yep, free comic book day.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Join live stream from Osaka Con Prep. That's cool.
That'd be awesome.
All right, we can chat about that.
Yeah.
So free comic book day is a week from Saturday. Is that right?
Week from Saturday. Yep.
Okay, so
6th.
next week's show, we're just going to talk about free comic book day and the artists that you're going to have in, and we'll kind of discuss things around
Ooh, that's good. That's
free
good
comic
topic.
book day.
That's
So,
a good topic. Don't read that out loud because that's a good one.
topic idea for next week's summer crossover comics event.
Yeah. Oh, I guess everybody can see this. You don't have to not read
Yeah.
it. It doesn't matter.
Well, I put them up here because these are all the Facebook chats, but
Mhm.
there are people that have been here from, like those are from YouTube, and then we get the Twitter ones.
Oh, okay. All right.
So this way, everybody gets to join in the conversation.
Cool. Yeah, that's good.
All right. So make sure you tune in every week. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps us out. Trying to get our subs up over 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a long way to go. So
Yeah,
share it to
we're
your friends.
what 1928 right now.
Pay your neighbors, whatever it takes to get the subs up.
There you go. Do horrible things if you need to. Help us, please. Help us.
Whatever you have, prostitute yourself, whatever. And make sure to ring the bell to make sure you get notified. So you're notified whenever something new drops.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you later, traders.
Bye-bye.